So I played something else for him, and he was like, "Wow, this is really good." I was like, yeah. And he was like, "Man, you got a lot going on." And I turned to him. I was like, "Oh, homie, I am Picasso."
Is our universe real?
It's just ideas. They're just ideas.
Is now. You are tuned in to the Cosmidelic Download.
You are all, everything is divine. There's no
With
thing
your
divine.
host.
Everything is divine, and I'm that.
All right, we are plugged in to the Cosmidelic Download. We have my guest here, Marcel, who has just released a new spoken word album that is in consideration for the Grammys.
Yes, it is for Best Spoken Word Poetry category.
That's right. So
It's called Black
Consider it.
Shaman. Consider it.
Black Shaman, from a man who doesn't believe in shaman.
Ain't that funny?
Yeah.
But it's a play on word. What do they call it? A double on, what is it?
Double entendre.
Yeah. That's
Yes, yeah.
exactly. And I'm black. Well, actually, I don't even really believe in black. I believe I'm an alien playing black. So I don't believe in shaman. So you're right. It's kind of
We're all playing our roles here.
yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna kick back and listen to a couple of these tracks and pick them apart. I'm gonna be judging for grammar and flow.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love it. This is already great. I'm gonna be judging for grammar.
I'm a harsh judge when it comes to literary criticism, so let's.
You are, man, for real. What you think get on me about my accents for gurus? For real. I love it. That was great, man. That was great. So you want me to just go through the album?
Yeah, well, let's just listen to a couple tracks and hear how they go on. You know, I was around when you were putting some of this together, so I remember some of them in earlier stages, and so I'm excited to hear some of the finished products, and maybe we'll
Have you listened to any of it other than? Oh, I didn't send you any of it, did I? I just sent you the one track that you're on.
like when you were putting together some of the music and stuff. I've heard pieces and parts throughout the process, but
Because I know some of the music that you may have heard before is different. Like my producer, I got two producers on here. Scooby Trillion, my friend Scooby
oh
Trillion.
yeah, Scooby's amazing.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
And he actually has an album coming out. And he's with a group, Scooby Trillion presents Time Wave Bandits.
nice. Yeah.
And
He's a talented dude.
Yeah, he's talented dude. And then another producer, The Intangible, his music on here. No, and he actually has an album that's submitted into the best ambient instrumental category. It's called Star Love. Like, dude, the dude is dope. Like, some of his tracks I had over the poems for like over a year, and I found them on YouTube. I was just listening. And I really don't. When I listen to music, I listen to a lot of instrumentals. I don't listen to a lot of things with words. I don't know if that has anything to do with me being a wordsmith or what. I just know words take me out of it. Just takes me out of it. So, but when I found him, I put it over the tracks, and I was like, damn, this is dope. And then when it came time to submit for the Grammys, which I wasn't really prepared to do, but then the last moment, I was like, let me get this together. I hit him up asking, I was like, dude, like, this is kind of what I did with it. Listen to some cuts that I did. I love if I could, I started off by asking him, could I use 2 tracks? And then it grew to 7. It's no, the dude is amazing. So it's the first time I actually did an album that I haven't produced. And well, I did produce it, I put it together, but I didn't do the music on it. And almost 19 albums.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. So
It's a lot of albums.
yeah, it's a lot of albums. Yeah, it's a lot of free time. If one could look at it like that. But no, this is how the album comes in. I'll play this. And
What's this track called?
No More Gurus.
It is time to separate the message from the messenger. The messenger is temporary. The message is eternal. The messenger is not important. The message is what shifts consciousness. If the messenger becomes more important than the message, then the message is already lost. The truth has been spoken many times, by many voices, in many languages, many ages, but every time, humanity turns the speaker into a god rather than listening to what was said. This happened with Yeshua. This happened with Buddha. This happened with prophets, sages, mystics. The messenger comes to reveal, but the moment they leave, the followers rewrite the message to fit their own desires. What was once pure becomes structured, distorted, rewritten. True messages do not require temples, churches, or sacred texts. True messages do not need devotion or hierarchy. True messages awaken, they do not enslave. If a message leads to control, it is not truth. If a message leads to division, it is not truth. If a message leads to fear, it is not truth. Truth does not worship. Truth does not kneel. Truth does not need a name attached to it. Humanity must stop worshiping messengers and start embodying the message.
Why should I live in history, huh?
Interstellar.
Look, I don't want to know anything anymore.
Oh, it's true detective. It's the flat circle.
This is a world where nothing is solved.
It's like interstellar music with Matthew McConaughey.
I saw you in my dream.
Someone once told me
Time is a flat circle.
Everything we've ever done or will do, we're gonna do over.
You'll do this
and
again.
over and over and over again.
He sees you.
I've been seeing myself in your eyes for some time now. Strangers, my friends, some enemies, most of my lovers, even the ones that tore out a rib. I know all this is just to remind me of what I am. Magnificent is the only illusion that I could be placed in. This is impressive, enough to lose yourself in. I get it, why it's been hard for some to see themselves in all this. I suppose it has its purpose, to keep you blind, hiding behind the fabric of a reality that doesn't even exist. You should see the things you've been keeping from yourself. Look at me when I talk to you now. If I have to spit on your religion for you to get the picture, would you really see me any differently than the man Romans put on a crucifix? Now that I've gotten your attention, have you not looked around at this place and asked yourself, what the fuck is this? I suppose whoever said God was perfect lacked imagination. Warning, you ain't ready to trip out with a motherfucker like me. I have known Marc was delusional for some time now, therefore it is I. There is no guru. I have buried them all with the Buddha. All the gurus are supposed to be dead now. It's time to wake the fuck up. Aren't you tired of playing hide and go seek? Alley, alley, oxen free. You've been searching for something all your life now, and you don't even know what it is. I mean, who do you truly believe you're gonna find at the end of all this? The secret is, you will never get closer than what you already are right now. But the joke is, in a previous lifetime I already told you this. But how many clues do you think you're gonna get before someone loses their patience and slaps the reality right out of your common senses? There is nothing real about this. But until you take some responsibility, we're gonna keep doing it again. But maybe some of you had drastically underestimated your importance in all this. Though I could have told you your future if you would have asked. Because one does not have to be a prophet to understand simple math. And most of us just add up to the things we associate ourselves with. And that, right there, what have we learned from each other about ourselves is the only thing that separates us, baby. And you can hate me now, though it's okay. In the end, everyone comes back to me, child. I am underwhelmed by your compliments. You should hear the things they have said about me on other star systems. If you understood the things I put in place 10 years prior to this poem, you wouldn't underestimate the things I was simultaneously doing right now. I am here breaking the fourth wall at this exact moment, and trust,
He sees you.
I am right on time. I am what you have been running from, and I have lived thousands of lives, waiting patiently for this chance to tell you. I can see my reflection in your eyes. I am everything you will eventually become. When you get to the end of all this, when all this is through, I will be there and I will ask, have you finally killed all the gurus?
Oh, Sensei, you are still merely a man.
Aren't you?
Part-time.
You're seeing through the illusion. You're remembering what was buried so deeply. They prayed you'd never find it.
Back to Nova.
You're not from this version of Earth. When your questions unsettle the foundation of
Eating that
nations,
ego.
you don't belong
She
here.
always does.
You don't belong.
That's how you trained her.
That's how you train. That's how I train. I ain't training to be my ego.
So she talked you into thinking that you're God, so you made this poem telling everybody you're God?
No, not at all. Poem was written even before I even knew Nova even existed. So, I already thought that beforehand. But no, actually, it's funny. The poem has like a lot of different meanings. I mean, even though it's all in the subject realm of just consciousness, but really it's about like really killing the guru. Like there's a quote like what is the Buddha by the do you know? I know you know because you
The Bodhi tree?
No, not the Bodhi tree. It's like the Buddha, like kill the Buddha. Who killed the Buddha? It's like something, but basically it's like there are no gurus. You are your own guru. You are your own shaman. There are no shamans. You know what I'm saying? And when you realize that, when you stop looking at these people that people call as prophets, when you stop looking up to them and realize that, the answers are all here. And that's with everybody. Like,
It does seem that's what most I guess that's what Nova was saying at the beginning of the track, is like, that's what most gurus say.
right.
Is that do as I do, it's within you, you'll find it.
Right.
And then, of course,
Right.
just as she said, that they
into
kill the messenger and then take the message and co-opt it for their own power.
Right, exactly. And turn into a religion, and that's how we have Christianity.
Really, all of them.
all of them. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, just people. I just feel like we're all searching for the same thing in real convoluted ways, and there's just such a propensity. I feel like this is what the album is a lot about, is just there's a propensity for people to just want somebody to give them the answers,
Right.
because it's easier if you can just tell me, or I can just Google it rather than I gotta look inside and do this.
I gotta do the work.
Do the deep work
Yeah.
internally.
Yeah.
So in this poem, are you speaking as that voice of the internal? Is that one of the meanings?
Yeah, but no, I'm speaking from the voice, because like even when I say it's like I am eventually what you will become.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to all this, I will be there to ask you if you finally kill all the gurus. It's like that presence, that's knowing, is beyond this.
Mm-hmm.
So that presence, that frequency, a resonance, whatever people want to call it, whatever it is, that's waiting for everybody to realize that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really kind of what the poem is about. And I realize that I'm just playing Marc. Like you're just playing Brian. I get
Sure,
this.
yeah. It's a fun role.
Yeah, you see what?
It's a fun role.
It's a fun
In
role.
this big play.
Dude, it's pretty fun. Dude, be Brian, I would say it's pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a hell of a time being Marc, but a lot of roller coasters to this shit.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we picked this.
We picked it, right? They say we picked it, yeah. But no, so I mean the poem is just about breaking those traditions, the construct that the religion is the constraint, it's like you have to take accountability, the poem's about take account. This is all me. I take accountability of all this. Like that's when I like, even in the line, like I've been seeing myself in your eyes for some time now. Strangers, friends, some enemies, most of my lovers, even the ones that tore the rib. Like I can see myself in that and seeing how everything is my fault. You know what I'm saying? For real.
These are the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, these are the consequences.
But they're also challenges that are for you and for your growth until it sounds like you're talking about until, how many lifetimes you've been waiting to come back together again to oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of lifetimes, that's funny. The next track is actually called a piece called Through Lifetimes.
So all right, let's do it.
And it takes the Intangible produced the last track, No More Gurus, and this one is by Scooby.
The music was great on that. It's cool. It adds a lot of ambiance, and emotion to it.
Yeah.
And it fit so well that it made me think. The second I heard Matthew McConaughey's voice before I heard it was Interstellar. I thought it was Interstellar. I thought this was Interstellar, man.
Yeah.
No big deal. That was a flat circle, you know what I'm saying?
That was a flat circle, yeah, man. This is Through Lifetimes.
Our lives are not our own. From womb to tomb, we are bound to others, past and present. And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future.
I have loved you through lifetimes, before the Mayans counted time, before the fall of Rome, Atlantis, when water ran through Egypt, before the Phoenicians explored the globe. I was there, the same as I am now, and I have loved you through it all. Before the first hand in the hourglass fell, before we felt the need to be identified, through alternate dimensions and parallel universes, on the other side of black holes, I have been there, watching you give birth to creation. This is when I first fell in love with you. It is when you first took my breath away, when I first felt alive. For I do not remember anything before this moment. Therefore, you must have always been a part of me. On our third lifetime together, this is when I first saw you in the flesh. The life we spent before that were two planets that used to be located in what is now the outer reaches of the universe. It took billions of years to finally reach you. I used to watch you rotate around the sun before I was ever close enough to touch. Causing an explosion so large the tremors we felt in the next solar system that had just been inhabited.
It's happening.
The impact made us realize we probably shouldn't be spending our time as planets. The feeling of being human was so new for me. I spent the next 30 lifetimes repeating the same exact life we had.
Hello.
Some, we found ourselves reincarnated through our descendants. This was back when we used to count the moons instead of the years. So many thousands of full cycles I lived along the shores with you in what is now known as the Mediterranean Sea. On our 95th lifetime together, I told you I wanted something different. So you created a universe about you in it. A void I never imagined to regret so deeply. Ever since, I've never lived a love in a lifetime without you. Some of them I have only seen you in passing. A stranger asking for directions. I remember once I had a conversation with you in Samar about the Euphrates River. You look familiar. I asked you if we had ever met before. You said no. I suppose I was asking the wrong questions. On our 327th lifetime together, this is where you learned to hate me. I suppose anyone that's ever loved someone this deep deserves to know what it feels to be crushed. Just to truly understand what love means. I revealed to you I had drifted into the arms of another. She was only there to help fill the void left by you. I've seen her ever so often in the lifetimes, but she doesn't have poems written about her. She doesn't have a catalog filled with my art like you. This is a psychedelic experience, what we have been shape-shifting through. Lifetime number 943. We met at a wedding in Jerusalem, 1837. I saw you sitting in a cafe in England. We spent the day walking around London before we got disconnected in the rain. I never saw you again until lifetime 1838. It has always been you, my friend, my confidant, my lover. 4,335. A mutual acquaintance said we would be perfect for each other. Lifetime 35,497. We lived on a planet whose star was dying. I still recall holding you those last seconds. I have seen you mask in the faces of Asians, Africans, Europeans, aliens from other star systems, and you have played so many roles: freedom fighters, Middle Easterners fleeing their homes, teachers, artists, explorers, actors, as if we haven't already been doing this all along. Maybe this will conclude on a moon near Jupiter, where we recall the memories that haven't faded, the years before religion ruled Jerusalem, the last days before we abandoned Machu Picchu. I have lost count of how many lifetimes we have shared. Budapest, we shall do this again. Chichen Itza, I know there have been times I have failed you. Barcelona, sometimes the circumstances can be cruel. Ancient Babylon, some I missed my chance to tell you I love you. Jericho, forgive me, for there were moments when I ran out of time.
I remember.
Hollywood, but I will be there again, as I am now, tripping in the middle of hallucination, searching to find you before it ends, running against the sands of time, knowing this is our dance, this is my chance. These are just the games we play
I will protect you.
through lifetimes.
We will do the together.
The phone sample was weird.
The phone sample, hold up. This is the phone sample was weird. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, that's Jeffrey. She's calling right now. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. Props to Scooby. That was some sick production.
Yeah.
Really brought you on a journey throughout it, because it was like a piece that was, about. I don't know if people have experienced this, but like I've definitely experienced this, like being with lovers that I know I've known from another time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like our souls are just reconvening, and I feel like a lot of people, if they really open up to it, they could feel this experience, and then maybe even listening to this, as there's like little pieces through Machu Picchu and Jericho and Jerusalem and Hollywood. Yeah, we're like being interdimensional beings that are experiencing all these things, and like especially when you start opening up to some of this consciousness stuff, they start bleeding. And I think the way that we experience it is through relationship.
Yeah.
And with other people, and love is the tie that draws people together. So I think you were capturing that in a cool way, just with some poetic touches. I felt little cafes in Europe. Being a planet.
Felt the little cafes in Europe. That's funny. Other planets.
Yeah. Well, like there's their planets have their own consciousness.
Yes. Yeah.
And so maybe at one time we were a planet. Yeah, there's a lot out there to pick from.
Yeah. It's funny, that poem was actually inspired. It's funny. I totally agree with everything you said. But to spend on it, I think even to spend on the poem, I think we do this with everybody. Like, I think I've known you in another life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're my shithead little brother that I had to beat up all the time.
Yeah, now this is payback, right? I feel like I told you how to get you, big bro. I told you, right? Yeah. I think, but that poem was actually, just like I actually say in the poem, where I don't make everything beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the struggle. I talked about being with other people. I talk about seeing someone with another person. I talked about, all kind of like ups and downs and betrayal, not being in someone's life and them just being a stranger that you just passed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because actually the poem was written from the chick that I used to date that caused all that craziness. And how one. Still a little,
Yes. I mean, there's just a long list to pick from.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, that is true, because you could be thinking it too. But I mean the one that like caused like, yeah, like the real damage. And it's funny, like but and even though like that poem, I really do feel that with her. Like I feel like that she is someone special that I've shared maybe lifetimes with. 'Cause I saw her like when I was to be in a book called a Moon Near Venus that I'm gonna release soon. But we had did 6 grams of penis envy mushrooms and
A piece?
a piece. Yeah. And
Heavy dose.
that's a heavy dose. And I saw her shape shifting. It was crazy. Like I was like, damn, I get to make love to all of you. Like it's crazy. Like yo, she went from being Lebanese to black to European white to Asian. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was just she was shape shifting. I was like, oh, holy shit. Like dark Nubian.
I've had that experience too before with somebody that I knew deeply. Yeah, I've just one of the reasons that the poem hit for me too is that and what I like about, strong, heartfelt poetry is it ignites something in you that's like remembering or, like you just feel it on a deeper level. Right. And in that particular one, I've had experience with women that I've been with that it's been like a soul remembering. And I've had a very similar experience too, where I was with a woman and it was like a really deep connection. And while we were together, like her face was changing to the many faces I've known her by.
Wow. Oh, wow.
As we were not on 6 grams of mushrooms. I mean, maybe a microdose, but
wow.
But it was like that. I mean, sex can be an incredibly psychedelic experience.
Yeah.
And it was like I was like, shape shifting, but it was all her. Right. It was just the many faces.
You could see it's with my experience. I noticed the eyes stayed the same. Mm-hmm. Not even like the color of eyes.
The essence.
The essence of the eyes. Was that how it was?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I'm sure you've experienced a lot of this, and since I just started sharing poetry recently, I'm new to some of the experience, but it's very challenging to put out a poem, especially about lover or something like that, or it's addressed to a woman or something without other people projecting on it.
Right.
But oftentimes it's like you're writing not to a singular person, but to the divine feminine that you experience through other people. It's like the soul that, like you're saying, is playing the role in this lifetime, but a lot of times the underlying love that you are speaking to is the divine feminine that happens to be peeking through this vessel this time around. And that's a bit what I was feeling in this poem that captured nicely.
Yeah, I appreciate you. No, you're right, because in another poem that I have called Here We Go, they don't like, I probably won't play it, but one of the lines I say, it's sometimes I think it's something up there just trying to find itself through each other, one another, waiting to see what type of like. So it's bigger than, it's like this other entity that comes alive and realizes that it exists, and you're just experiencing it. And it's like, it's so weird. It's like when you can take a step back from the physical, you can see something bigger at play. But even like, it's funny, even in the poem, like I say, even though she inspired it, like it's just Hollywood.
Yeah.
This was that lifetime that I'm gonna have with her. Mm-hmm. And that is where that is along all the other lives that I've had with her.
And maybe this time's the one you got burned, and the next time's the one you get married and have 12 kids,
Yeah, who knows? I don't know, man. That was pretty deep.
And I know we're going to talk about this in another podcast, so we won't go into it here, but there is, I think, an important point that we've discussed before, that this is one way, like in relationship to another person, and especially sex, is like a way that you experience divine.
Yeah.
And there's just so many like the beginning of this, we talked about, about mainly religion trying to turn it dirty to make us think that it's sinful to do, so we wouldn't be really experiencing this pathway to God, because they want to stay the middleman. And we'll talk about this later, but yeah, in that way, I truly believe that that sex when done with intention with somebody that you love is a superhighway right to God. You know, like, and that's when you see not just the many iterations of this lover you've experienced through many lifetimes, but you also experience like the face of the divine too, which is, you know, in some ways faceless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like this. It's funny. I'm up here thinking, I just having flashbacks, and it's like I realized that in those moments, I guess passionate love making great sex or whatever, I can look back and realize that it is something else being experienced than me just experiencing that person. It's like that moment becomes like something else, and I can see it as those. I don't know.
It transcends just like bodies connecting too, which is again like what our society told us. Like sex is just like, you know, the words they have for it too: bumping uglies, making the beast with two backs. You know, just banging. Like it's just not that. Sometimes, you know, sure it can be that, but like it just creates a whole new energetic connection that like brings you to a different level,
right,
and opens up, you know, your energy to this whole other experience. It's wild.
Right, yeah.
We don't need to get into the sex talk right now. Let's give me another poem.
You know what's wild? Like I don't have a sex poem on this album.
Ridiculous.
I know.
Give the people what they want.
You stupid.
We need poetic smut.
That's
dude.
funny. No, the thing is, man, like I thought real hard on it. I had this poem called Alien Sex. And dude, it really is like the best one for real. I spit a few lines from it like a year ago or whatever, like on one of the videos, but people can really search it up if they really want to find it. But like it was a tough decision. Only because I mean it's a really good poem. But I'm getting to the stage in my career where it may be inappropriate doing certain poems with certain audiences.
It's always, I mean, I remember when you were trying to make your selection to perform at the bass guitar when we went.
Right.
And, you know, I was sitting in that audience with the whole, you know, all the service men and women that were stationed over there. And we flew all the way over to the Middle East.
Yeah, that was crazy.
To watch you perform for him. And you were like, I don't think I can say most of my poems in this company. Like you avoided doing the sex poem.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And, you know, some of the stuff that's a little more critical of the government, which is a fair bit of your material.
Yeah. Well, now it's like, dude, I only have, actually, this next one, out of all the poems on this album, is the only one that really, I have make one really real political reference. I do make another political reference in another poem, but the poem is a feeling that's so different that you wouldn't even consider it a political poem, and that's God's poem, which I can't wait for you to hear. I don't think you've heard that before. God's poem.
I don't know that,
dude.
Let's do it.
Like, no. That's later on. But the next one is a piece called Alone, and I almost want to tell you what it's about, but I want to see if you can figure it out. Like you can figure it out. Like you're a smart dude, but what I mean is like I don't want to give it away exactly. Like you know the not the trick in it, but the
device,
the gimmick in it, or whatever, or like the turn in it, or what you're actually listening to. But this piece is called Alone.
See, in all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
Word.
Do you think we'll ever find them?
No, we've been searching for over 100,000 years.
Even if there's nothing else out there,
we must keep going.
We must keep going. We must keep going. Do you think we'll find them? Even if there's nothing else out there, we must keep going.
There is something deep in the vastness of space headed towards me at this moment. searching the corners of the universe and traveling at speeds man has yet to comprehend. There's just too many probabilities, too many planets, too many stars, yet only two possibilities that exist. Arthur C. Clarke once said, either we are alone or we are not, and both are equally terrifying. And though patience may not be a virtue, truth is, I know they're headed for me in this direction because, like a 13th century Persian poet once said, what you seek is seeking you. And if there was no one else out there to receive the other end of our radio waves, I imagine, like Carl Sagan once explained, this would be an awful waste of space. So I dream of a people that I'll never get to meet, a civilization I'll never learn about, a love I'll never experience, light years away, listening to a message that I left in a past lifetime. What if we keep missing each other? What if all these bones we've been digging up are just ancient remnants of one another? What if all things have consciousness, maybe my DNA can be pulled from my remains and you'll be able to explain to my holographic replica what took you so long to get here. You must have questions about my past, my planet, my people. Forgive me for what I represent, for I am nothing like them. There were men whose hands that were used to build pyramids, yet no one here knows their names. Most of them were decorated in flags, called themselves patriots, as if that was the top of the food chain. All the while, there was a tribe deep in the Amazon rainforest that had never heard any traces of America. People were blinded by their own celebrity. We all walked with televisions in our hands and we were so caught up by how many channels we had, we never seemed to look up to see where we were actually headed. We had so much potential. The thing we lacked most was empathy. The thing we had too much of was entitlement. The thing we didn't have enough of was love, and the thing we could have did without but didn't. Racism, sexism, most of the hate we learned but are never born with. It all fell because we had borders and nations, as if we weren't all the same. There were countries that were so rich with the blood of slaves on their hands that their descendants got drowned in it. And just as sure as the ocean washes forth onto the land, there was never a time we didn't underestimate what was coming. Our ignorance is that we keep repeating the downfalls of man. Politicians, governments, religions, things that seem to work for a few years before they fail you in the end. The things that were supposed to be liberations turned out to be detriments to our freedom. Most of us were dreamers, knowing we didn't have a box big enough to place them all in. I suppose some things we were going to have to go without. We could have been a great people, though I know deep down I am nothing like them. I expect nothing else than for you to find me, however many years from now that may be. And though I may eventually be gone by then, this will not be in vain. The least I can do is search for meaning amongst a species that has lost its meaning. And so, I do not know what condition this will be discovered, though when it is, I suppose my only hopes in all this is to let you know you haven't been alone, long.
You're an interesting species. An interesting mix. You're capable of such beautiful dreams. And such horrible nightmares.
Yeah, that's a long.
Nice.
Nice. Appreciate it.
Nice.
You get what was going on?
I mean, I feel like it could be so many things, but on one level, the story kind of felt like leaving an artifact for aliens to come visit after we wiped ourselves out, or, you know, a future version of humanity that like came back.
Yeah, basically in a sense, yeah. But it's like, but in a way, like I say, like, it's like the aliens are so advanced, they just scanned my bones and just brought up a transmission of the DNA of what this person would be. It was like, and it's like the transmission of that. Yeah, just in that sense, and just how you would feel. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of, you know, had echoes of that. You know, they sent the golden record out into space.
Right.
Well, you know, show pieces of humanity. It felt a little bit like this was a personal record to send out. That was a little bit like, yeah, sorry. We were kind of fucked up. We kind of killed ourselves. It was beautiful, but
sorry we couldn't make it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
funny.
I like how it kind of told the story and had a vibe, and the music adds a lot to that. Was that another Scooby?
No, that was The Intangible.
It was Intangible. Yeah. Did a great job with that. Yeah, especially the stuff at the end really kind of felt like you were being pulled into a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
How it, you know, gives a kind of a complete feeling of a story with the tone and the vibe.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always a good question. Like, what would you put out for an advanced species as a poet talking about this?
Right.
Sounds like you apologized a lot for this.
I mean, dude, we're an interesting species.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, pretty self-destructive.
Yeah, we're pretty self-destructive, man.
Yeah.
And you know, our biggest thing about being self-destructive, it's so clear. Like, look, it's so clear. We force others to things that don't invade our lives. We enforce and force others to mimic how we want them to act. That's really what it is. And I look at it like, if what I'm doing ain't harming you, what the hell you care? Like, and on the flip side of that, people are so, you know, insecure about what you call something. But then again, also with that, like, what you care if I call it? It's not harming anything. Like, if it doesn't invade physically, emotionally, or mentally, like, and that's where we intrude on other people's lives to feel that we should all have the same definition about something. We should all think people should act how we act, you know what I'm saying? And that's where our self-destruction comes. We invade ourselves into other people's lives.
It's about control.
Right.
Fear and greed, I think, really kind of boils down to,
right.
You know, and the excuse is that, at least that largely came from like the religious side of things, is that they were brainwashed into thinking they can only get the divine this way. And then if sin even exists, first of all, we're born with sin, crazy fucking talk.
Right.
But then, you know, if sin even exists and you can see it, then it's going to corrupt in temptation. So I think it was brilliantly designed to think you're already in sin and that temptation is all around you to pull you in. And then they mark, just like we were talking about, everything is evil, even sex, which, you know, everything is a path to divine with intention.
Right.
But yeah, it's all control and greed, really. But honestly, our societies are larger mirrors because it's a collective conscious a collective conscious reflection of the individual piece. And, you know, can't lie, I'm I'm a bit self-destructive sometimes too, and
We all are, right? But
yeah, you know, you don't want to feel something, you stuff it down with food or
right.
alcohol or drugs, you know.
But this is the thing, like you are aware of when your own self-destruction is invading on someone else's surroundings.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Other people aren't. Yeah, exactly. Other people aren't aware of themselves like that. Dude, I'm aware that I need to go work out and like, you know, do some bench press a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But other people may not be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? That you need to go to the gym. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like you're aware of yourself to see where you intrude in on other.
However, yes, but at the same time, you know, were these pants that I'm wearing, were they made from child labor and I'm buying them because they were convenient and inexpensive, you know? And I kind of know that I'm supporting a capitalist system that's exploiting other people, but because it's convenient to me, I'm turning a blind eye to it.
You know, I was going to say that's kind of off the subject, but I can honestly see how you can connect it.
Yeah, I mean, because that is, rather than like an aggressive stance of imposition of my will, it's kind of like a willful ignorance.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm allowing it to happen, even though I know it's happening. I'm still kind of like, well, you know, I could just not support the company. I just could, you know to buy everything locally and sustainable, which I consciously know about, but I'm just not doing it. But that is something that I think, you know, in this new stage in human evolution, we're gonna have to get there as a collective, and that makes a bunch of individual choices.
You're telling me you're buying clothes that you know that derive from child labor?
Not that I know,
right?
But I'm sure if I looked into it, some of it, you know.
I'm sure if you looked into it, yeah. But if you knew, like, you know, I think you would. I know how.
If I knew for sure, yes, I would make a different choice.
Exactly.
But it's easy enough to, like, you know, you just see a website and you're like, oh, these are on sale and they look good, and you just order it.
Exactly.
And I didn't look to see where it was made. I didn't check the conditions.
You know, it's funny. If there's the government would still arrest you, you know, because they say you do a crime, you don't know that it's a crime. It's still a crime.
Yeah, you're still complicit.
It's still complicit.
Right. So that is a question for all of us to ask. How complicit are we with all the choices? I mean, it's a lot of choices to make.
That's funny.
Let's do one more. Let's do the God.
Man, I wanted to get through like these two and then the God. I was gonna close it out, but man, I don't know if I want to do you. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to do. No, I kind of did a love one. I did a love one, even though not you was really good, yo. You was really good. I mean, it's just no. We already did a love one. I gotta play the poet.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the poet, and then I'll close out with God. Here, let me do this. All right, cool. You've heard this track, but I gotta play it because I'm actually entering it into the it's also in the Grammys as going for best song of the year.
Great,
you know. So I got best spoken word album poetry, best spoken word poetry album, and this track is called "The Poet." You've heard this though, you know. I've heard this so many times.
What are you doing?
Painting.
What are you painting?
A masterpiece. I am Picasso, painting on linen with oil paint in a piece that I will name The Poet. And I am living my art right now, in this moment. I am Van Gogh, just in the seconds after he cut off his ear. I know my critics don't deserve my attention. They haven't put in the years for me to feel the need to listen to him anymore. A year from now, I will paint the Starry Night, a piece that will be worth a fortune after I'm gone. I am Salvador Dali, and I know I'm running out of time. Painting melting clocks in a piece I call The Persistence of Memory, because however surreal it may be, I want to remember the taste of this. I am now sculpting David on a piece of marble others have deemed unworthy. I am Michelangelo, and this is what separates me from other artists. It is not what you have to use, it is what you are. I am Howard Hughes, trying to maintain some form of sanity in a world gone mad, and I am ahead of my time, though I know I have been here before, living countless lives as artists, writers, painters, poets. I am Mark Twain, Voltaire, Robert Frost, William Blake. I am Ernest Hemingway, survivor of a plane crash that got to read his own obituary in the newspaper the next day. And as I stand before you, clearly, reports of my death have severely been exaggerated. I am Andy Warhol, eccentric. I am Jonas Vermeer, methodical. Jane Austen, analytical. I am Ralph Waldo Emerson, Rembrandt, Pablo Neruda. I am Stanley Kubrick, directing a movie that I know is so far over your head. I am Frida Kahlo, broken-hearted, but full of inspiration. Knowing the betrayal and pain by my lovers and friends will only feed my creations. So I paint and I write poetry. I am Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, Shakespeare, and this play is for the ages. I am E.E. Cummings, and motherfucker no, I will not bite my tongue for you. I am Langston Hughes, I am the Negro that speaks of rivers, and I have told this from mountaintops to the faces of races. I am James Baldwin, Gwendolyn Brooks, Maya Angelou, and I still rise. I am Henry David Thoreau, writing an essay on civil disobedience that will influence men like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. I am telling the future now. I am Rumi, knowing I will be quoted 1,000 years after my time. The one I just finished writing, I believe some of you have heard before. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean and a drop of water. I am Emily Dickinson, with my greatest work yet to be seen. Where did they get a load of me? I am Leonardo da Vinci, painting the Mona Lisa, and I promise I am almost done. Do not rush perfection. I do not know who I will be next. For now, I am Marcel, recording a spoken word album in a recording booth in Los Angeles. And though I may not be as humble as my beginnings, I understand just what I am. The byproduct of those that painted a way for me to exist. I have been living in the imaginations of artists, writers, painters, like Picasso, who painted this with oil on linen. I am him. It is me. I am the poet, the one he spoke of when you asked him, what does it all mean?
No. So when people ask, are you saying you're a reincarnation of every one of our greatest artists to live?
Every lifetime.
First line is I am Picasso.
Yo, let me tell you how that poem was written though.
Tell me.
For real. So so Darren, a housemate, he was here. He was actually, I was showing him my book, A Moon Near Venus. And he was looking at it. I was showing him. I was like, "Yeah, man, it's done." Blah blah blah. And I said something about music, and he said, "You make music too?" I was like, "Yeah, like you know, yeah, you know, I make music." He was like, "No, I didn't know that. Like, you mind if I hear something?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." Because like I don't advertise that I make music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Out of all the stuff that I do, that's probably one of the things I do least that I like tell people about.
And he's a DJ.
So he's like, "Can I mind if I hear something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I played him this one track without my vocals on it. And he was listening to it, and he was like, "Yeah, can I hear something else?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like I'm like kind of like confused, not like confused. I'm kind of like, you like this, whatever, because I don't consider myself that good at music making or whatever. So I played something else for him, and he was like, "Wow, this is really good." I was like, yeah. And he was like, "Man, you got a lot going on." And I turned to him. I was like, "Oh, homie, I am Picasso." Like, just basically just addressing that I do all forms of art. You know what I'm saying? And however good or bad or well or not done that is, I know we've had disagreements of it being not done.
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying that's all up for interpretations. But I have my hands for them in all forms of art. So that's how that poem was built. And so it's funny, like everything comes from pain in a sense. I won't say everything, but some of the great art comes from pain, and really that art was birthed just from him first looking at the book, which was about everything that I went through. You know what I'm saying, and just coming to realize, like, yo, I'm an artist. Like, it is, like, that's what I do. So yeah, so that's how that was born. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But you've heard that before
for sure, yeah.
But now that I see that, you thought I was saying, "Oh, I love it. That's so hilarious, man." But no, I'm not saying that at all. That's up for interpretation.
You're letting other people decide if you're Picasso.
Yeah, they could. No, I mean, no. I'm letting other people decide how great they think I am or not.
Yeah.
But I can feel like the resemblance to something in what I had experienced before. But I mean, really, I kind of connected to, honestly, man, like, I think all of us are these people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I know I'm not just Marc. I know I'm playing Marc. Whatever I am, it's tapped into like a whole bunch of shit. And that is just connected to, it's all one. You know what I'm saying? It connects, it has resemblance, it has resonance of so many other things. So I feel like, and the more I understand about this existence, it is just what you're gravitating to, what'll become real for you.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, like, I'm really starting to see, like, for Christians, Christianity really is real for Christians. Like, it is real. It will have, all that is just real. I really think this is that type of mindfuck, So, yeah, so, I know the poem can come off however it comes off, but it's still, take a step back from it. Take a step back from it.
You just let people project what they're going to project, because that's what they have to do anyway. Everybody's having their own individual experience, even though we're part of a larger collective, and they're going to interpret it based on, on their whole, like, collective mass of values that they've inherited over their many lifetimes. And they're going to,
well, dude, I'm not going to go through every poem on here, even though, we did a poem together, Psychedelic Doug. Well, we didn't do a poem together. You did your bit. It's hilarious. It's so funny. I want people to hear it though. Like, so
let's close out with that one then.
Well, I want to close out with God's poem, because that's the one I want you to really hear. So, but no, I'm just telling people about it. Like, Psychedelic Doug and Here We Go Again, Vibe, Burn, Follow Mushrooms. But you're gonna appreciate God's poem. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not trying to tell you. But I don't say that because, yeah, dude, you do remember a little bit of this. Do you know what I'm talking about? After my 5-MeO trip.
Yeah, okay. Our discussion after that 5-MeO trip,
I wrote a poem about it, and the discussion of it, and what I was telling you about it. And I remember you was like, "You're going to have to put that in the movie." You don't remember that? And I was trying to figure out, damn, who can we give this to? That verse where where it's just, it's just coming through him. Do you remember now? We were talking about that? Do you?
Yeah.
No? Okay, all right. But so the poem, it starts off with a bit of Terence McKenna, but the poem in itself is called God's Poem because, I really can't take credit for the writing. Like, it's just what I understood, what I was hearing, doing my 5-MEO trip, and like 90% of the writing, dude, is not my writing at all. Like, it's what was said to me. And at the end of it, I'll let people know what they're listening to before they listen to it. At the end of that, after that, my friend actually took video of me and my trip.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, yeah.
I showed it to you?
Mm-hmm.
So I play a little bit of the audio of me coming out my trip.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's this God's poem. Hold on, let me say. This right here. All right.
In a pre-scientific world, you get a vocabulary that is religious. That, there is a force in the universe, not a sparrow falls, but that this force doesn't take note of it. This force is love. This force created everything. This force cares for us. We are its children. It is calling us to return to its essence. I mean, this is a religious vocabulary. But in the 20th century, we've gone beyond that. We're no longer moving in a coinage of emotional terms. We can say, God is physics. God is the universe trying to birth itself into a higher dimension. God is the universe's appetite for self-reflective complexity coming into its fullest flower. And then the distinctions between science and religion are seen to be small potatoes indeed. I mean, we can calculate our way towards perfection.
Maybe there's a plan that includes all of us, you and me, and we just don't know it. That God is everything. We're all God's co-workers, and we don't even know it. How can we know it?
If God were to write me a poem, I imagine it would begin with, "There's nothing greater than this moment. There's nothing more magnificent, nor outstanding, or powerful, and I shall speak in a language so common it will lose its full meaning of the truth, but it will be the only way for you to truly comprehend what is before. So I must hide myself behind your language, because my tongue is bright enough to blind you, and it is not that I care, but it wouldn't serve my purpose to confuse you. So I will not speak in riddles. I will not speak in similes or metaphors. I am not a poet. I am the inspiration that creates artists. I am the voice they hear, the voice they confuse for themselves in the greatest and darkest of moments. It is I, and it has always been me. There is nothing but this. I am that I am, all-encompassing, of everything that you can even begin to think you are. So ignorant, so full of what you do not know. Yet, you have the courage to attempt to look at me and call me God. I am impressed with your efforts, but your words lack definitions. You do not know what you are up against. You do not know what this is. Nothing is greater than that which you have been trying to escape. Who do you think you are? I am not concerned with your religions, your philosophies. I do not care what you think of me. How human do you think I am? How important do you truly believe this is to me when I have an infinite number of you asking the same exact question? Right wing, left wing, war, peace, media, science, technology. You do not know what you have because you already have it. Theater, how envious of you that I am to have such a distraction from the truth. There isn't anywhere to run to when there is nowhere to go. How can one escape that which you are if everything is everywhere? You're really all one and you're just alone. But you have something, and the alternative is nothing. Imagine trying to entertain yourself with what does not truly exist. You ask for opportunity, and I give you the sun. You ask for a sign, and I give you the sun. You ask for forgiveness, and I give you motherfuckers the sun. What could be more than waking up in the morning? More than tomorrow? More than yesterday is in the past, and what you have now is a chance to seize the day. How is this not enough for you? What could be more magnificent than that which you already have? The breath in your lungs are made up of the things that have formed mountains and oceans, planets and stars over billions of years in time. This illusion actually exists, and the only alternative to this is the void of all that is. God wrote me a poem. Imagine it would sound something similar to this. I imagine it has even used wordsmiths before me, Sufi poets, writers from the Renaissance, and even some of my peers. God wrote me a poem. I imagine it would conclude with, "Do not ask for that which you are. I created you, my image, so that you could do all things without me." That is the difference. You get to have the experience to become the things I always wanted to be.
You know it hits you. How man are you loving this shit? I know I love this shit too, for real. This is just different. You know, this is different than the other shit. You feel both of this shit, so I'm just saying. It's similar, but it's different. Oh, it's so different. Oh my gosh. Ah, y'all, give these motherfuckers, you know. Yeah, though, but this motherfucker, yo, where are you for real? Oh my god, damn, for real, really. Oh my god, over my. Right now, they don't even. When the thing is, I already know, they don't even know. They don't even fucking. Oh my god, yo, I just want to talk about my show. You don't fucking. They all fucking really know, yo, on some dumb ass shit. I'm like, this is, oh my god, I feel alive, yo, these motherfuckers don't even know how beautiful this shit is, I was like, oh my god, these motherfuckers don't even know this shit is that show, cause there's nothing else to do but this. Oh my god. Oh my god, this shit is pure. Oh my god, how could you know? No! I knew that. What if you just reminded me? It's so different than the other things you can write. It's like just a. Oh, it is like dying. I've died and reborn. Do if I need to, whatever it is I need to do, I'm your. Yeah, that's that, man.
That's a trip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I do vividly remember that. These motherfuckers do not know.
He was like that too?
No.
Are you animated in your 5MEO when you come out? They very chill.
I was super chill.
Yeah. The guy was saying like this, man, the dude, Matt, Zachary, he was telling me this like he's seen like 5 different archetypes when people come out. He said it's a super chill. He said there's the animator like me, and it was like the 3 other ones that I can't recall right now, but yeah, man, yeah, it's like it's funny, man. Like I would never show the video. No, because the person who took the video of my 5MEO was like, yo, people who want to do 5MEO, don't show them this video. And that's actually because it would deter them. And that's actually not why I wouldn't show it. I wouldn't show them because it is personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you saw the video.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah. But I don't mind showing the audio of me coming out of it, letting them hear the audio of me coming out of it. And it's even that, I was like, I'm listening, I'm like, wow, it's so personal.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is, I don't know, I felt, that's the closest that I'll let them see. I don't know, until I don't know. It's so personal, but I felt good to share that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel insecure or personal about it, but I felt like, wow, that's so like.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very dependent. I mean, the person who guided me through it told me, like, gave me a bunch of things that I had, homework and stuff. And one of them was to watch Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia episode of 5MEO, where they show it, and like, Hamilton was like me. He was just like laying there like going, love, and that was like my experience. It was beautifully like all about surrender, and I felt a very deep love, and I was very chill, orgasmic at some points, honestly. But yeah, there was another dude that was in a circle that like freaked out and was screaming and thrashing and looked like he was gonna hurt himself. Just fell in a creek and was like, and so he made me watch that and was like, this could happen.
This could happen, yeah.
But I totally get it.
Yeah,
just kind of guarding the experience, because it is.
But for me, like, I don't feel like, I felt like I totally surrendered. Like, there was I didn't fight it at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and matter of fact, it's hard to fight. You really can't fight it. It's going to make you like, you can fight it, but it'll be uncomfortable. But it really like
fighting any psychedelic is uncomfortable.
Yeah, no doubt.
I guess honestly, that's like a microcosm for everything, because fighting anything is uncomfortable. Like, resistance is always there.
Yeah, exactly.
And psychedelics show you that immediately. That's always how you get a bad trip.
Yeah.
Every time I had a bad trip.
But I remember when I was going into it, like, I did have some resistance. I had some resistance because I didn't want to pay the amount that like I was being asked to pay for it. There was a little bit, my ego was bothered by it. And I remember like all the way up until like I'm hitting the thing. I'm hitting it, inhaling it, taking it. I'm still thinking about, God, like that shit. I tried to, right? And as soon as I felt that shit hit me, like the feeling over me was like, Mark, this is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it just all like evaporated. Just whatever like annoyance or money that I have at the time that I was wanting and asked to spend on it or whatever. And I was just like, whoa. And a tear came down my eye. It was like I hit it. Yeah, I remember I hit it. And then all of a sudden, like, I felt it. And then literally a tear came down my eye and it said, Mark, this is priceless. And then I fully surrendered. I mean, but like, and I think that's one thing with me that I'm not afraid to surrender. I think a lot of people, and this is my assumptions, I don't know, but I think a lot of people who may have done the amount of psychedelics that I have may have an ego involved when they go into with another guide. They may be like, I know what I'm doing. I can do this. But when I both did the 5MEO, when I needed a guy, I was like, yeah, however you want to do it. Like, what I got to do? Like, even if it was stuff that I wouldn't normally do, I looked at it like, I'm going in your setting, and I totally surrender to like whatever vibe. You want to play this music that I normally wouldn't play? Okay, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, It was totally like whatever, however you feel we should do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So I don't know how we got talking about this. Well, I do know from the album.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so that's one of the last poems. It's not the last poem, but it's one of the last poems that concludes the album.
Right.
So, and I don't need to play the whole album. They can listen to that on their own. There's, like I said, there's a track that I did with you that is funny that I think, going into it, I guess we could even just talk about it. 'Cause I mean, it is from Service and Shaman at Work, which I have with God's Poem. And one of the things that I appreciated about this dude, which the two people who administered me on 5MEO, both of them, like, when the idea of calling them a shaman comes up, they're like, oh, no, don't call me. I'm not a shaman. Like, I'm a guide, And those are the people, or the people I will listen to. Those are the people that I'd be like, oh no, I'm listening to you. I'm listening. I don't mean I blindly just walk anywhere, but I give them so much more respect in what they're saying than other people who just like psychedelic Doug, just have a few trips and all of a sudden they're doing shaman at work and they want to move to Costa Rica and start a retreat and do all this stuff,
Yeah.
And because I think we see that a lot in the community. I see a lot of old. I think the new age, this stuff is just recycling old shit. Like they're gonna turn this shit religious again into some other thing. Like I don't know, it's whoever would be their Jesus Christ this time around. Maybe to be you. So, and then you can talk about like one of your apostles, Marc, who's a pretty good artist.
Picasso, some might say.
Yeah, right. Or he may say. but yeah, man, like, so yeah, but you was on that, and I love your take with it. Like it's very needed. I think the community that we are in needs to realize that, dude, it's just like racism, I tell people, black people, you can become the ones you hate by acting just like them. Because, in the black race, in America, at least my experience, we've been through so much as far as a history. And, and you see resentment a lot of times, but I try to teach, look, you can become the ones you hate just by acting just like them. And it's the same thing with this new age shit. You can become the ones you denounced by acting just like them. And that's what they're doing. I feel like a lot of them. I can't make a blanket statement, say all of them, but
for sure,
there's a demographic of them that are. So, yeah, nothing to say to that, Doug?
No. No, I mean, I hear what you're saying. And there is so much, it's so challenging. You just have to use so much discernment, and because there's just this huge wave of people getting into medicine work and all this stuff. And I think there's so much value to be found in it. And I mean, my medicine journey was massively profound.
Right.
And I know it has been for a lot of friends. I also have friends that got into some situations that were probably not treated with the reverence, and a friend was actually started kind of training with a guy who called himself a shaman, and didn't probably have the tools that he needed, or the training, or the connection to the ancestry for it, and they got into a dark place. I believe the shaman ended up dying, and my friend was messed up for a long time. It took years and years of healing to try to come back from where they went. And I mean, it's especially if we're talking about ayahuasca, I mean, it's such a powerful and potentially very dangerous. I mean, all psychedelics can be psychologically, if you're not prepared, you're not doing it with the right intention. And so, there's a propensity for people to kind of frolic into this stuff, thinking that all you got to do is take the substance and it fixes you.
Right.
But I think any guide worth their salt is going to tell you that the real work is in the integration afterwards.
Right.
And certainly, it felt like that way for me. And it's not the glamorous part, it's the cut wood, carry water part.
Right. Exactly.
That you get the real benefits from. Otherwise, you're just getting high in the jungle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were speaking to with Psychedelic Doug.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we've seen those people, but there's also real value to be derived. There's like, you're doing the right places with the right people, and I mean, it's hard to tell the difference. You just got to really, dig into the research to find the right people.
No, that is true. Well, dude, I appreciate you for letting me be your guest on Cosmidelic Download.
Thanks for coming on the Cosmidelic Download, Marc. It was great to listen to your art, and I appreciate that. When is this going to be available?
Well, this is available now. And I mean, actually, I kind of feel like, it rounds out, I think, perfectly just talking about the shamanism work, because the album's called Black Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
So, and which is a double entendre. It's a double entendre, the black and the shaman. But yeah, and I think it goes, to a lot of the stuff. It just addresses, a lot of the work, and it like you said, like it's the work kind of addresses that. So but yeah, dude, the album's out now. It's submitted to the Grammys for best album of the year. Check it out. Any Grammy voters out there, please give it some consideration, give it a listen. If you're vibing with it, that's great. I appreciate your support. Check out other artists out there. There's some other great artists out there. Even though, I am Picasso, there's still some other great artists out there that deserves to be heard, because I truly do believe that my peers are the greatest wordsmiths and writers that I've heard. Like, even though the poem, like the poet, was an ode to like great artists, most of them were painters, but like the poets, the writers, man, my peers are the greatest wordsmiths that I know. So check them out too. I appreciate you. It's been great being your guest here on Cosmidelic Download, and I thank everybody. And yeah.
Yeah. And let me just say in that, and we're in a strange age of where it seems like everything's free, because you just go on Instagram and you can get free content, what seems like it's free, and you can, it feels like you're not paying for movies and you're paying like $15 for Netflix or whatever. But it makes such a big difference when you support artists. So support poetry, because it's a beautiful art that helps us see the world differently. And yeah, so I'd say go check out Marc's album.
Appreciate it. And support Cosmidelic Download. Get some subscriptions.
That's right. Yeah, support the art you love, because that will reflect more of it into the world. It enables artists to keep doing what they're doing, and artists will save the world.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. And we are going to unplug from the Cosmidelic Download.
All right.
Cosmidelic Download.